Hi friends, I'm Scott Giles, minister and hypnotist, and welcome to Power Talk, my video blog where I cover topics that interest me, focusing on how you can use the power of your mind to take control of your life. If you want to know more about my professional work or sign up for my free e-newsletter, Power Lines, check out my website, which I'll tag in the description. If there is something in your life that you feel is out of control, learning self-hypnosis can turn that around. Well, today I want to talk about what some people call brain fog. That's the feeling that your thoughts are just not working as well as they used to. People report short-term memory issues, difficulty with focus, and so on. Well, the issue about brain fog has actually been around a long time. The first recorded mention of it was in 1850, with the German physician George Greener writing about fogging of the light of reason. Unfortunately, despite this, the modern medical community was slow to recognize the issue of brain fog as legitimate. Often the people who approached a medical caregiver about this quickly found that they were diagnosed as having depression and medication would be prescribed. There's also a condition called chronic fatigue, now recognized as legitimate, that features brain fog as one of its primary symptoms, but it took a long time for the medical community to recognize that condition, as there's really not a reliable test for it, and again, many physicians just assumed it was really depression, or worse, fictitious malingering. Well, the issue about brain fog really came to the fore sometime in 2020 when the COVID-19 pandemic gripped our society. Brain fog is one of the COVID symptoms, and there were so many people complaining about it that mainstream medicine finally began to take this symptom seriously. Now, as a hypnotist with a long history of working with the cancer community, this was all very familiar to me. People who are living with cancer and who have received chemotherapy have been talking about brain fog or chemo brain for many years. Finally, researchers started taking them seriously, and it became clear that some chemotherapy agents do cross the blood-brain barrier and affect how the brain works. So I wasn't surprised about people telling me they felt brain fog post-COVID, and I had already developed hypnotic strategies to help deal with it because of my long work with the cancer community. And yes, I'm going to share some of those ideas with you in this video. Well, since the medical community began to make the feeling of foggy thinking as a serious concern, we've learned that it's much more common than we believed at first. It does come in the wake of chemotherapy. It comes in the wake of COVID. It is part of the so-called long COVID aftermath of the illness as well. But a large study in Great Britain found that 28% of all medical patients report some issues with at least occasional brain fog. So apparently it can result from many different medications, as well as things like migraines, concussions, attention deficit disorder, dehydration, kidney disease, and lots of other things. The response to brain fog finally became recognized as an actual medical symptom and has regrettably led some people to running scams. They think they can make a buck off. And I've seen numerous ads on social networking where someone claims that if you have a feeling of impaired consciousness, you can buy their supplement or their gadget or their treatment and it will help. And I'm sure there are those who are falling for this, although I've seen no evidence that such things work. The good news that I'm bringing today is that the feeling of brain fog is common, can be caused by many things, some serious, some not, but there's a lot you can do on your own to help yourself if you're feeling it. And this reflects the advice and techniques we've worked out at my practice about how to respond. Well, the very first thing to do is to look at your sleep hygiene. If your sleep is disturbed, that promotes difficulty in thinking simply because you're overtired. So do the things we know helps with sleep. If there's a chance you have sleep apnea, get yourself tested and treated. Try to go to bed at about the same time every day and wake up around the same time every day. And simple things. Maybe it's time you flipped your mattress or replaced it. The next thing to consider is your activity level. There's a catch-22 here. You feel brain fog, you feel fatigue, so you don't do things. Well, feeling fatigue is serious, and according to most experts, it's not a great idea to push yourself. If you are tired, rest. You will not get stronger lying in bed. So there's a happy medium you have to kind of find of gentle activity that will help your energy level globally and will help clear out your thoughts. So running a marathon isn't the best idea, but maybe a daily walk is, even if it's just around the block. A little bit of activity, it will help your sleep, it will help your energy level, and it will help clear out your head. Finally, a regular practice of self-hypnosis can be utterly transformative if you feel brain fog. The human neurological system was never evolved to deal with the 24-hour news cycle and the constant bombardment of stress and hassles that are a part of modern living. So cutting out some time for yourself every day to unplug from society can be critically important. I've had clients who reported extreme difficulties in keeping a clear head, completely turn that around with just 15 or 20 minutes of daily self-hypnosis. And it's easy to do. Any hypnotist can train you in self-hypnosis and should be doing that, but you can learn it on your own as well. There are very simple methods. Oh, they're not as powerful or as targeted as something you might learn from a professional, but anyone can do them. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Put your cell phone into silent mode. Slow your breathing. And then just count backwards from 10 or 20 to 0, breathing a slow breath with each count. That will do it. And if you really find yourself agitated, start with 100 and count down to 0, one breath at a time. There are apps you can get. I have free self-hypnosis recordings you can download from my website. But the key thing is just to unplug, breathe, and then occupy your thoughts with something distracting, like a slow backwards count. Most people find if they do this faithfully, their mental fog will improve. And then you are using the power of your mind to take control of your life. And that's something I very much want you to do. Hey, thank you for your time and attention today. I'll be back next week with another talk on a different subject, and I'd like to invite you to join me. It helps me a lot if you tell others about my videos, so please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you're wondering if I can be of help to you, feel free to reach out through my website for a free, no-obligation screening call, and we'll talk about it. Have a great week.